So what you see me here making is this is the door sill for the workshop, which is all going to be in oak. This is a nice piece of oak here, and the framework and the door I'm going to be making out of the oak that we had a lot of worm in. That's all been treated, it's all fine, don't ever panic. A lot of people panic when they see woodworm holes, but as long as it's treated, it's fine. Okay, so what we'll do now is take off these arises off here, right? Just flatten this down a little bit more, and then take the aris off of this side. And aris, we mean like a sharp edge. Oak can cut you to pieces if you don't take them edges off. So I'm going to take them off, smooth it off, and then my framework, which will be something like this. This isn't it, but something like that. The door will fit inside here, right? And then you've got an external framework that sits over so the door can close into it. It's the way I'm doing it because I'm doing a Tudor arched doors in the same style, and you'll see that as it comes together. I'm going to go just finish this off, go and get the arch I've cut out ready for gluing up, and I'll show you that next. This is going to be the arch framework. Okay, this is not on the door. This is the frame that the door closes into. All right. It's not put together yet because it's in segments. I've made it up as segments. So these all come apart. They've all got to be glued up yet. Okay. So just let me roughly put them back where they go. Roughly. And that one goes there. Now what you'll notice is on this one I've left that horn a little bit long because I need somewhere to grip with a clamp, so I can go from one end to the other and clamp it shut. Yeah, clamp the middle, clamp these ends. But once that's all done, I'll sand it all up, and then I'm going to put a profiling mould along here. I'm going to mould it up somehow, whether I do it with a carving chisel or something, I'm not sure yet. I'll mould that anyway. And then you've got your legs come down, and then your framework's on the inside, and then I'll make a door that fits this space to come in, because it's a very wide door. It's going to be about 4 foot nearly, and that's what we call a Tudor arch in the UK. Okay, it comes from the Tudor period, and they set this out. The geometry for this, actually I might show you that. I might do that on a bit of paper for you, show you how I set this out. But I think it was invented by the Tudors. But it's a beautiful arch, and I know it's not right here in France, but for me it's oldie woldy. It all marries up, and it's a little bit of England for me in France, as well as, you know, the beauty of France. Just you know, just a nice marriage for a workshop door. Anyway, this is all oak. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to glue that up, and then I'll bring you back in after when I've got to that stage maybe, or a little bit further on. And you'll start to see the frame being built up now. But in the meantime, I'll try and find some paper and a bit of a compass or something, and I'll draw you up on paper to show you how to set this out properly. Okay, folks, I'm going to show you, as promised, how I set out a Tudor arch, right? So, first thing we need to find out is the span between the walls, okay? Now, let's just imagine it's 16 units, which is a nice, easy number to work with, okay? From there to there, if you scaled it up, would be between the two walls where the door frame sits in, all right? Now, on there, I want to work out or break up this into 4 compartments, or, you know, 4 different separate things. So that's nice and easy, 16. So that's 4, 8, 12. Okay, and that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces, right? Now the next thing I need to do is from here to here is set a compass, or divider, whatever you want to call it, right? And I need to set, no, that's too big. I'll need the bigger one in a minute, I know I will. Use the smaller one. Between that space there, okay? Okay, got that? And that would be the same as that space there, all right? Because they've been equally divided. You could divide it with a compass, but I've done it with a rule. Okay, so now what we do is we come in one, and then we strike an arc, okay? And then we go to this end, come in one, strike an arc. This is very basic joinery. Geometry, sorry. Joinery, geometry, all sounds the same, doesn't it? Right, so this is for this Tudor arch. Did I say Gothic? I mean Tudor. Tudor arch, all right? Now, what we've got to do is find the tangent point of this. That means the edge that this rolls around hits a different shape arc, which is a bigger arc, and marries in. It marries in and comes away. They call that the tangent point. So what we do is, these 2 lines here, we square them down. Now you can do it with a compass. Come here, go past the centre, bang, 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 make lines. This side, line, line, put a line down. But just for speed, I'm going to do it roughly with the square. Okay, so I'm going to square it around. It won't be as accurate, I promise you, but it'll be, you'll get the gist of what I'm trying to do. Okay, then I'll just square that line down as far as I can. Switch it over to that set one in, the first one in, as that side, first one in, if you like. And then straight down again, as far as I can. Might have to go a bit longer with them, but we'll see. Now, the next thing I need to do is, the compass is, I pulled it past middle just to show you that, but the compass was set to there. So what we've got to do now is jump over with the compass to there and open that up to that distance. So we now got 2 segments or 2 spaces, right? And then what we do there is we come to the end, or this one here, I'll show you. We strike a line down there, and then we do the same this side. Strike a line, and where they cross in the middle, and that point there, okay, gives me the centre. I don't need to draw this line, but I'm just going to show you. That's the centre of that. Yeah, so if you was trying to work a 90 degrees angle there, yeah, you could do it that way if you liked. Okay, so the part of this that's critical is this point here, all right? Because now we've got to put a line from this point to this point, going back on this squared off line. So I'll just show you that. And I would, you know, if I'm working in geometry, doing these Tudor arches, I would take my time and really work close at this, rather than just drawing it quickly like I'm just trying to show you. I would spend a bit of time and get this right. Then I'll do the same on the other side. Try and get it near enough anyway. somewhere around about there. Yeah, so I'll do the same again. That looks a little bit different there, but you'll see in a minute. Them points there are properly close to it. Right, so hopefully you understand that. So now our points, this is why I need the bigger compass. We set the compass, or divider, whatever you want to call it, from there to this arch, this little sweep we done up here, and we go on it roughly like that. I hope you can see this. Okay, so I know I'm not on it properly because look, I put a little line through there and it's come below the arch. So I get it till I hit the arch top, or the sweep, top of the sweep. That looks pretty much there. Okay, and then I'll sweep that across like that. Okay, on that tangent point, that's the tangent point where it's touched. And same again on this side. And that should be close. That's spot on. All right, and then where they cross there is the arch. So now let me just scribble this bit out for you. With a rubber, I'll rub it out. Okay, and that is a very simple way to draw a Tudor arch. Okay, Tudor. Keep saying Gothic, don't I? Tudor arch. Okay, that's what you'd have seen in the Tudor period all around the UK. Henry VIII's time, Elizabethan even times. This was a very, very normal arch there, and then it would be squared off like that. Top framework, you know. I would have made it to fit the space, but I've just shown you how I've drawn it. Also, where was I going with this? The geometry is a part of carpentry. You know, if you want to be a good carpenter, you need to know all your geometry, trigonometry, algebra is sometimes in there as well. And one other thing is fractions, definitely. Fractions in division, right, is important as well. I know it's a metric world we're going into now, but the old ways, for me, are the best by a long way. Okay, better than any metric system. Metric is simple for let me just say this, and not insulting anyone, but metric's for idiots, really, because you can't really go wrong millimetre, but it doesn't help you when you're trying to do division properly. Anyway, bar the bar. But let me just give you a fact about this before we finish. So that's your Tudor arch, and that's a very basic bit of geometry. But I just want to tell you something, that everything in life you can see, touch, feel, microorganisms, plankton life, anything, space, out in space, planets, everything, all can be explained from geometry. Geometry is the key. Geometry is the storyteller that tells you and maps out a direction for you to do it. And I've just shown you there. I just put a few points and it drew that for me. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Hope you stayed all the way. Have a go. See how you feel. Okay, so that's the boxed door frame, Tudor style, in oak, ready to go in. Now I'm going to do the creme de la creme and start making the door. But I'm just going to bring you in and show you some details. Let's start with over here, the seal. So this is how I make the seal up, okay? And you see a groove here. Right, I'm just going to get the piece of material wherever that is gone. Typical. Where did I put it? I think it's up here. There we go, like that. So, some of you will be saying, oh, it's only a workshop. Don't need to go to all this, but I do, because I can. This here, what it does is it goes this way round. Basically, this is a weather bar. Okay, it goes in that groove there. Let me try and get it roughly one hand. It'll go in there when it's banged in. Once you bang them in, they're locked in. So I can't do it yet until I do all the finishing on it. or get the sealer coats on. And on this side, you've got a rubber squeezy bubble, if you like. And when your door closes from the inside, it pushes up against that on the inside because there's a rebate on the bottom of the door. So that's the seal. This is all solid oak. Then I've got 15-degree angles of a slope and cut these in and fixed. Also, let me show you this detail as well. This little detail here. So you've got the nice chamfer, little rise and a bishop's hat. Okay, you've seen me do that on when I made the internal doors. So I'm keeping with the theme, that on there. But there'll be a lot more detail on this door when it's done. When it goes in there. It's a lot of work just making the frame. And so where we go. So what we got is now, we've got a Tudor arch. So we have a round here. And then this line going up to the centre is actually a semicircle. But you can't see it. It looks straight, but it isn't. It's in the geometry of making this. And it's, you know, to set it out, you need to know what you're doing. To set it out, because you've got to get your distances right from there, right to there as well. And then I've put a big chamfer all the way around. Okay. And all the wormholes, all this patchy stuff you see, that's where I've been filling all the wormholes, because it normally looks like that. Yeah. Lots of holes. But I've been filling them in with a special formula I make up. And then it's made up as a box. So you've got an internal frame and an external that's connected. And then that gives you a rebate. I've got to turn you around, sorry. My hands are getting tight because I've been working with them all day. But you've got a rebate here, which your door comes up into here. And then there's a groove I've put in here, so I can put a weather bar in there as well, weather strip. And that goes all the way around. Of this type of door that I'm making for here, the detail in the arch is on the frame, but the door is still square or rectangular, if you like. Okay, so the head on the inside it will show square, on the external it will show a Tudor arch. Now the other thing is, last night I was doing a bit of revision on costing, because I've been away from the UK for 5 years, and I was thinking to myself, how, you know, once you do a door like this in oak and you fit it and, you know, framework and everything, what would that cost? And I was absolutely shocked. You've got to go to specialist door makers who make this sort of thing bespoke. Remember, this is a very wide door. It's over it's just over 4 foot wide. And I was shocked. They were between £6,500 and £8,500 to make this door and frame. Oh, amazing, isn't it? I should be making money, not messing about on YouTube. Anyway, let me know what you think. The next part, when you see next week's video, you'll see me making this door. Start to make the door and put it in there and fit it. Got some nice furniture for it, some fleur-de-lis strap hinges for the inside. Just going to source a nice knob of some sort, you know, an old black wrought iron sort of thing. But I've got to sand this down tomorrow. Let that filler all go off properly, sand it down, and then give it the sealer coats and then the oil coats after that. Let's get over the top of the arch so you can get a bit of view of it. Hopefully you get a view of that. Yeah, pleased with that so far.
Well, Budo, that is looking so beautiful.
Well, it will do when I make the door.
Enrich the oak.
But this oil mix, this is the first one. It sinks right into the oak, and protects it. But it'll have 3 coats of this. Not this one, but it'll have 1 coat of this one. And then it's going to have double boiled linseed oil, pure, on top to really give it something. But this is the Tudor frame, door frame for the workshop. So I'm just going to get this on now. Do you like this? Look, I've done this little detail here. Come here.
Come closer.
You can do it. You can see this one over here.
I can see it here, look.
Yeah, cool. So it will stand out now, look.
Beautiful. Same as what you did on the door.
Yeah, and the door's in the bedroom and upstairs, the one in the loft. I made that detail there and I'm just carrying it throughout the house. You can see the wormholes, they're all been filled. But it gives you that...
I actually really like that.
Yeah, oldie-woldy sort of feel.
Marvellous.
But we've got a lovely day for drying, haven't we,
Trace? It's absolutely beautiful. May it long continue.
Yes.
So I'm not going to keep you, Budo.
Right, I'm going to crack on, get this sealed, and I'll get a photograph of it.
As you always say to me, well done.